I just want to thank everybody out there that's reached out to me these last couple of days and these last couple of weeks about stock investing. I'm actually really honored that you took your time out to ask me questions. Um, I just want to go ahead and tell everybody that I am not a guru. I am not a stock analyst. I am not a stock broker. I am not charging for any services because I do not have any services that I can charge for. I can just share my knowledge and my advice with you. With that being said, I did get approached by over 30 people in these last couple of days about stock investing. So I decided that I should just go ahead and put a video together and release that information to you guys so you guys can share it. You guys can watch it over and over again. Or if you guys have any questions after the video, you're more than welcome to contact me on social media or send me a text, whatever you need. I'm more than willing to help you make money because at the end of the day, if we all make money, then it's a great life, baby. So let me go ahead and jump into it. What is a stock? A stock is a portion of a company that you can own if you purchase it. So, for example, let's say that I want to buy shares in a stock in Microsoft. So the stock in Microsoft, I think it's like at a 113.67 somewhere around there. If I'm not wrong, $113.67. So if I want to buy 3 shares, I buy $113.67 times three. That's kind of what it is. You might have to bump up the price range a little bit because you might have to pay 115 depending on the brokerage platform that you use. But I'll get into that later. But that's what a stock basically is. It's ownership in a company that you can take and you can be part of an owner. Now, with that being said, you call yourself an owner. You're not going to a board meeting. You're not going to be called every day to ask your opinion on stuff. You're just a small stakeholder in a company. Now, once you start buying into the hundreds of shares, that's when it starts becoming a percentage owner, which I don't think any of us are going to get to that point just yet. But basically, that's what a stock is. A stock is a portion of a company that you can own if you pay for it through a brokerage firm. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, like I want to get rich. What stock do I need to buy? Or what? I want to get money. I want to get money." One thing that I want to express very vividly to everybody is that buying stocks does not equal cash. Okay, it can, but technically, what you want to do when you get in the stock market is that you want to get your money to make more money for you. It's not necessarily that you're going to get your money, flip your money, and then take your money out, and then now you have thousands of dollars in the bank. That's not necessarily what the stock market is. The stock market is a investment platform that you want to put your money in so it can make money. You know what I mean? You want to put $100 in and you want it to be valued at $105. You don't want to just put $100 in and make it into 105 and pull out the 105 and then spend it, because that was a complete waste of time. What you want to do is get that $100, make it into 105, make it to 110, make it to 120, make it to 130, and keep building up as you go to make your money even more money. That's the whole point of the stock market. Now you could do it the other way, where you could just put in $100 and make it into 105, pull it out, spend it. Then when you get another $100, you could put in another $100 and make it 105 and spend it. But why would you want to do that when you could just have $100 sitting in your account making you money while you're not doing much? But everyone can do what they want, to each its own. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do with your money is up to you. How could you get rich off of stock? A lot of people ask me that, like, how could you get rich off of stock? Guys, not everything is Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, not everything is Wall Street the movie. Not everything works that way. Those guys are making money off of commissions, off millions of dollars of purchases of stock. Me and you, regular people, we might not become rich off of stock, and by rich I mean millionaires. Having 2 million, 3 million, 4. We may not. Some of us might, but we may not do that. The point of owning stock is to increase your money value. So then later on in the years, you have more money. It's not just something that you're going to invest in today and then in 3 weeks, you're going to be worth $200,000. That's not how the stock market works. And I don't know the movies make it seem that way, but that's not how it works. Getting rich off of stock you could make money off of a stock in a day. You know what I mean? But you're not going to get rich in a day. It's going to take you about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years for your money to grow. But With that being said, putting your money into a stock and letting it sit there for 8, 9, 10 years and getting an 18 to 20 to 22% return on your investment is way better than having it sitting in the bank account for 8, 9, 10 years, or even worse, spending it for the next 8, 9, 10 years. Saving this is one big thing that a lot of people don't understand. Is like, yes, you want to save money, have your emergency day money, you want to have that, rainy day fund, but you want your money to keep making money. Money that sits still does not make more money. All right. So being rich off of stocks is going to take a while. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some progress. You buying a stock tomorrow is not going to equal you having $10,000 in the bank in a week. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily how that works. Now, there are ways to get to that point. Depending on the liquid cash that you are going to invest, you could make your $2,000, $3,000 into $4,000 or $5,000 in a matter of weeks. But that depends. It all depends on how much money you're going to invest. You can invest with as little as $5, or you can invest up to $100,000. You got to remember that the more money you invest is the more money you're going to get back. And you're like, oh man, well, how does it work? Well, what happens is that, let's go back to Microsoft. If you buy a stock in Microsoft for $113, right? And it stays at $113, well, you locked it in at that price. But if Microsoft starts releasing earnings, and by earnings means how many computers they sold, how many programs are downloaded, how many users they have, how many Xboxes are sold, whatever they use in their earnings report, which is released every 3 months starting from January. If they have a really good quarter, those stock prices are going to climb. That means that $113 that you may have purchased with Microsoft could possibly be worth up to $160 now, because the value of that company has gone up because they're making more products, they're selling more products, they have more subscribers, they have more people buying their stuff. So the value of that company increases, and along with that value of that company increasing comes your money increasing in value. So at this point, your stock that you paid $113 for and some change is now worth 160, 165. So let's just say you made $50 in profit, and if you own 5 or 6 or 7 shares, you have made over $250 in profit, which that is why I was saying that you want to make your money make you more money. Now your money has made you more money and you haven't really done much. Now at this point, you can either hold on to those shares, or you can sell some because you have profited already a good amount, and you can go into another investment, or you can sell all of them, keep your investment, and then move on to another stock. There are some stocks that are long-term holds, and by long-term holds are like they're safety nets. They're called blue chip stocks. Blue chip stocks are stocks that usually don't ever go down that bad. By saying that bad is, I mean, they might go up to like 100. Let's say Microsoft, it went up to 150, 160, 170, 180. I think the 52-week high for Microsoft is 192. It might go up, but it never goes down under 112. That's a safety net. So if you bought it at 112, then you're never going to lose money on Microsoft. Those are safety nets. There's a lot of blue chip stocks that are that way, like Microsoft, I think Sony, I'm not too sure with blue chip stock. I don't really dabble a lot in blue chip stocks. I think Tesla's a blue chip stock. I'm not sure. I don't really do a lot of blue chip stock investing, because to me that's not really a big gain. For me, that doesn't really equal a lot of money to me, because sometimes you might make $10, you might make $15, you might $20. It might be a really good quarter and you make 100, like you go up to 193. But Microsoft usually stays in the range from 113 to 145. So after a while, blue chip stocks are great when you're jumping in because it's less risk. At the beginning, you don't want to go in there like the Wild Wild West and start shooting off money and just I'm gonna put it here, I'm gonna put it there, I'm gonna put it there, I'm gonna put it there, because you might lose all of it. And you might be like, oh, you know what? I suck at this. I can't invest. I suck at investing. I'm never going to do this again. And you pull everything out and you lose money. That's not how I recommend to do it. I always recommend to, jump into some blue chip stocks because they're easy. You know these companies, McDonald's, Microsoft, Apple, those are blue chip stocks. Those stocks are easy. Everybody knows that they're going to make money. They've been around for years. They're never going to go bankrupt, right? So I always say you should invest in blue chip stocks. When you guys go buy stocks, make sure that you buy stocks in something that you're interested in, and something that you see a lot of. Make sure that you buy stocks that you see everybody have an iPhone, buy some Apple stock. If you see everyone buying Levi jeans, get Levi stock. You see a lot of people riding around in Teslas, buy Tesla stock, because that is what's making money out in the industry right now. You can understand trends. You can see trends. I mean, we all see trends with our kids, with other people, with our friends. We notice all people are wearing the same thing, or they're doing the same thing. They're going to the same places, going to the same restaurants. You can buy stock in those restaurants. You can buy stock in those clothing lines. You can buy stocks in the technology sector that you see is increasing in value. That's kind of the way that is the smartest way to choose stocks and which stock to buy. You want to look at the world completely. Don't just I like wearing Banana Republic, so I'm gonna buy Banana Republic. Well, I like wearing Banana Republic, but that doesn't mean everyone likes wearing Banana Republic. You kind of want to understand what the world, the economy is going towards, and that's gonna eventually give you a good stock pick. Along with investing in blue chip stocks, I think when you're beginning, I think everyone should look into ETFs. An ETF is a fund that has a collection of stocks. And what does that mean exactly? Okay, so that means you can go into Stash, which is the one that I use for ETFs. That's the platform that I use for ETFs. You can go in there and it kind of gives you a description of what the ETF is. An ETF would be let's say the blue chip stock. It'll say these companies are blue chips. The S&P 500 index has calculated that these stocks are most valuable or blah blah in the industry, blah blah blah. And then you click on it, and then it'll give you a list, and it'll give you a list of stocks that it owns. That fund owns a bunch of stocks. It's not just okay, I wanted to buy Microsoft, so I just bought one share of Microsoft. No, now you're buying the ETF. The ETF, that fund, which is an index, owns a bunch of stocks. Does that make sense? It's if you're buying a stock, you're only buying Microsoft. But if you buy an ETF, then you own a lot of stocks. There could be a bunch of stocks inside that ETF. It could have 3% of Microsoft, 7% of Exxon, 8% of McDonald's, 4% of Burger King, 5% of this, 6% of that. Break it down into fractional shares of the stock. And some people are going to be what does that do? Well, what that does is that lowers your risk of losing any money. And it increases the way that you could probably get money, because once, let's say you have all of those companies doing good, well, that ETF one's going to obviously increase in value. So your money increases in value. But let's say McDonald's doesn't do good, or Exxon's not doing good. Well, those are only two companies in a 40 company index. So those two companies aren't going to outweigh the other ones overperforming. Does that make sense? So let's say you have a 10 person team and two people aren't doing good. Well, you have 8 other people to help you pull the weight of those 2 people so you can get to the finish line. I hope I explained it right. So Stash is a great platform for that because it gives you descriptions. It's real easy to use. I'm going to drop the link down here wherever this happened, wherever it fits. You go ahead, click that link and get Stash. Stash is a great company to get ETF funds. ETF funds, like I said, they're low risk. If you put in $200, you're probably not going to lose $200, and you don't have to worry about losing those $200. It might go down in value a couple times here and there, especially right now in the epidemic that we're in, but you're not going to ever lose that money because those companies are going to increase in value. That's how you can invest in a blue chip, because I'm pretty sure everyone's what's a blue chip? What's a blue chip? Well, there's an ETF fund just for blue chip stocks, which is awesome, I think, for for people that are just starting out. You can read all the descriptions of all the ETFs. It can break it down to you. I think they even give you like a personality quiz, so it even refers you to what stocks what ETF funds you want. Personally, here's another advice. I'm not saying that this is gonna make you money, but I have a lot of money invested in the defense ETF, which is the companies that have defense contracts with the military. We're never gonna stop making tanks. We're never gonna stop making guns. I'm all about peace, but reality is we're never gonna stop making weapons. So why not put my money into something that I know isn't gonna stop? Now, another question I get asked is, what platforms do I use? Like I said previously, I use Stash for ETFs. I use 4 different platforms, but I'm not going to confuse you too much with everything because there's a reason why I use 4 different ones. But for ETFs, I use Stash, which is awesome. I think it's great. That's the company that I refer to everyone to use at the beginning, because I know that we all want to jump in the pool without learning how to swim, but I definitely recommend everyone get their feet wet before you get into the pool. Okay, know how cold the water is or how warm it is before you start putting money into stuff that you have no idea what you're doing. Or if you want to go straight single, I think you can buy stocks on Stash too, but if you want to go into a platform that is about just straight stocks, use Robinhood. Robinhood is really good because it's essentially it's free, compared to all of the other ones like E-Trade and TD Ameritrade, what is it, Merrill Lynch, and all of those other ones. Those are big firms, but they charge you for every trade. I'm not saying that I don't use those. I do use those occasionally, but I don't use those regularly because, like I said, they charge you per trade, which is kind of like, damn, you know what I mean? I get mad when I have to use an ATM and I have to pay for the fee. It bothers me. Okay, a dollar bothers me. So Robinhood's really good for that. They do not charge you on the trades. They do, I think, require a minimum deposit of $100. Not sure. Stash, you could start with $5. Like I said, I recommend Stash to everyone that's getting their feet wet because you can buy ETFs or you can buy stocks. But like I said, at the beginning, I would recommend going into ETFs, just because it's a lot easier to understand. It's a lot easier to navigate. You're probably not going to lose a lot of money, and you're going to get the feel of how things go. I've been stock trading for about 6-7 years, but I've barely really started making money off of it these last 2-3 years. And for those of you that know me closely, know that this is a very big source of income for me. So I just wanted to share some information that I have with you guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to contact me. Like I said, my social medias are open for you. If you want, DM me, give me, and I'll shoot you my number. You can text me. We can have a conversation about it. I'm not really going to get into this video about what stocks you should buy because, like I said, that's kind of a personal thing. But if you do want to get my opinion on it, like I said, my inboxes are completely open and I will shoot you some advice that I have. I can't guarantee you that you're going to make some money, but I can let you know what I'm doing. I can tell you what my investment strategy is and what's been working for me up to this point. If you guys have any more questions about what's going on or how stocks work, please feel free to shoot me a DM and ask me those questions. Because if I have to make a part 2 of this, then I will. I just wanted to make it kind of short and sweet. I didn't want to get too into it. I just want to kind of go overall about what stocks are and help some of you out.